I'm Connie Lee, President and CEO of Angioma Alliance. Thank you for being here. I hope you've been having a great day and that you're ready for a little break, because our patients and doctors and researchers want to share their hope with you. And we want to give you the opportunity to participate in accelerating the cure. The cure, you say, what is that? What does that look like? Well, the cure means that a parent with a brainstem lesion will know that they can always be there for their kids. It means that a child with CCM will not have to undergo traumatic brain surgery or have lifelong disability. It means that families with the hereditary form of the illness will not pass it on to their children. Cavernous angiomas will no longer hemorrhage or cause seizures. They will disappear and not come back. Cavernous angioma is the reason that we're here. These are abnormal blood vessels in the brain and spinal cord that resemble mulberries. They can hemorrhage and cause seizures and strokes at any age, even in children. They are often disabling and sometimes fatal. 1 in 500 people has a cavernous angioma lesion, but most don't even know it. And brain and spinal surgery are the only treatment. We have come a long way on the path to a cure. We have researchers who have identified many different treatment candidates and have tested a number of them in animals. We have thousands of members joined in a community, united and motivated. A few have even participated in clinical drug trials. Today we're at a tipping point. We have momentum, and together we can reach the goal. There will be better treatments by 2025 and the cure by 2030. If we work together, children and adults will remain productive and independent and able to raise families, living long, full, and happy lives. Please stick around. There's a lot more to come.
Hello everyone, I am Issam Awad. I am a professor of neurosurgery at the University of Chicago and the chairman of the Scientific Advisory Board for Angioma Alliance. My message to you today is one of hope and great excitement about where the science is leading us in cavernous angioma disease. A few years ago, our disease was a medical riddle, dark questions that nobody had answers to. Why did my lesion form? Why do I have a problem and someone else doesn't? Why did my lesion grow and bleed? Why do I form more lesions or less lesions? Can I change that? We already have many answers to these questions at the fundamental levels. We have identified many switches, molecular switches, that govern these questions. And we are now embarked on a very, very exciting and ambitious road to translate these discoveries into diagnostic tests that predict who's going to bleed and who is not, who has a stable disease and who does not, and also to try to prevent and predict in the future what will happen to our disease. And we also have unique opportunities with new drug targets and other approaches to change the course of the disease and maybe change lesions into ones that will not bleed and will not cause a problem, or maybe even regress. Together, we will achieve the goal that brains should not bleed.
Hi, we're the Claytons. I'm Nicole.
I'm Ben.
And this is Mary Ellen. She's our 7-year-old. She's affected by CCM3, like her dad. You want to speak to some of your experience, Ben, and why a cure would matter to you?
It would mean absolutely everything to me. I could drive again. I could work again. I could truly be the father and the husband that I really want to be. I could get back to just getting everything out of life, especially for my little one here. Pray constantly for a cure.
She'll be a senior in high school 10 years from now. 10 years is a good amount of time for us to see a cure, or maybe even multiple treatments and a cure. We believe it can happen. We believe it can happen because we have to. Please consider giving in whatever way that you can, and we'll keep praying and we'll keep sharing information and telling everybody we know about this disease.
And thank you from the bottom of our hearts to all of you at the Angioma Alliance. Without you, I'm not sure where I would be. Let's keep fighting the good fight, all you CCM warriors. I love you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, Kelly Fleming here from the Mayo Clinic. I hope to share a little bit about my journey with cavernous malformations as well as my excitement for the future. My journey began over 20 years ago when I first started on staff and met a patient with cavernous malformation. She was a young woman that was 26 weeks pregnant and had 2 brainstem hemorrhages within 3 days of each other. Back then, the medical literature simply did not tell me what to do with this patient and what would be the right thing. Subsequently, patients would ask me questions that I couldn't answer, and that frustrated me so much that I made it my mission to try to figure out what the answers to some of these clinically relevant questions are. Will I bleed again? What is the outcome if I bleed? Will I be able to provide for my family? Do I need surgery? Over the last 20 years, there has been a dramatic expansion in the knowledge of cavernous malformation. The diagnostic techniques have improved dramatically over that 20 years, and we're better able to detect and distinguish cavernous malformations from other vascular malformations or tumors. We're better able to distinguish between the familial and sporadic form. We're better able to select patients for surgery and have better surgical techniques. One of the very exciting things is that there may be medications that might prevent hemorrhage. This, until now, has been just a dream that there might be an alternative to surgery for those people where the cavernous malformation is just inaccessible or that they have multiple lesions. So I just can't tell you how excited I am about those prospects. Being part of the Angioma Alliance has been just a wonderful part of my journey. I've been able to meet basic scientists, translational scientists, other clinical scientists with similar interests. It has developed collaborations across the United States and across the globe. And so it's just fantastic. And for patients, I can't tell you how grateful I am to Connie Lee and the Angioma Alliance for being there. Patients often struggle that they may be the only person they know with this disease. And so having someone else that knows what it's like to be them is so very important. I'm very hopeful for the future. I'm very excited about all the interesting science that's going on and being published and being presented this year at the Angioma Alliance scientific meeting. Just can't wait.
Hi there. My name is Michael Lawton, and I'm president and CEO of the Baroneurological Institute in Phoenix, Arizona. We are a center of excellence for the Angioma Alliance. I want to give you all a shout out for all that you do to help support us taking care of patients with cavernous malformations and helping the Angioma Alliance. Thank you.
Hi there. I'm Ed Smith, the medical director of the Angioma Alliance Center of Excellence at Boston Children's Hospital. This is just a short message to thank you for the incredible support you've given as all of us together on the Angioma Alliance team work towards the day where we have a cure for every kid with a cavernous malformation. Thank you so much for your support, and we are excited to be working together towards this so incredibly important goal.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Awad. I'm the Angioma Alliance Center of Excellence Medical Director here at Cincinnati Children's and the University of Cincinnati. I'm also a pediatric neurosurgeon and neurointerventionalist here, and really over the years have gotten to learn and really love meeting all of the kids with cavernomas and young adults, and including families involved as well. We really pride ourselves in educating around the entire management, including natural history, and then even into treatment options as well. We really look forward to teaming up with the Angioma Alliance for being research partners towards aiming and getting towards a cure for cavernomas.
Hi, my name is David Borland, and I'm from Austin, Texas. When my wife was 23 years old, she was a math and performing arts teacher. She had a CCM bleed in her back and spent the next 6 months in a rehab hospital. 2 years later, she was able to walk again with a limp, but she was able to go back to teaching. When she was 40 years old, she had a CCM bleed that required brain surgery. Again, she worked through the rehab and was able to go back to teaching. But 2 Septembers ago, she was on a Friday night Texas football field and was suddenly unable to limp off. Things got worse and worse. She couldn't stand, she couldn't swallow, she couldn't sit up, she was throwing up all the time. 3 neurosurgeons said she should go to hospice, but 1 neurosurgeon was willing to operate on her crushed brainstem. Additionally, her students were also crushed. They knew that they were losing her. Today, she's fighting hard to recover and hopes in a few years to have some level of independence. This disease is not just devastating to our family as we wonder what will be next for her. It impacts hundreds of students that will be robbed of her impact. Today, we are on the brink of a cure for CCMs. Let's not have one more person live with the unknowns or have one more person robbed of their health. Please join our community and help to accelerate the cure. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Min Park, the director of the Angioma Alliance Center of Excellence here at the University of Virginia. I'm here with our clinic center coordinator, Susan Rannigan, to welcome everyone to this amazing Celebrate Together for a Cure event.
On behalf of our multidisciplinary team, we'd like to thank you all for your support and dedication to finding a cure for cerebral cavernous malformations. We've already seen the effects of the incredible work of patients, clinicians, and researchers across the world in better understanding the disease in hopes of coming up with the innovative treatments now and in the future.
Led by the labs of Dr. Tverdik and Price at the University of Virginia, we're investigating novel therapies, including the use of focused ultrasound to treat cerebral cavernous malformations in a laboratory environment. It's an honor to participate in this important event, and we hope everyone has a wonderful time tonight.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Ramirez, and this is my CCM story. It'll be 5 years in December since my son's CCM diagnosis at the age of 4, and I can still remember every detail. The boys were having their nightly tickle fight on the floor in our room, and I announced that it's time to get ready for bed, and I walked out of the room. Soon after, Elam began to cry, and as a mom, you start to learn the different kinds of cries that your child makes. And this cry was something I never heard before, and a sound I could never unhear. And this is the moment our CCM journey began. Once we arrived at the hospital, the entire family in tow, we began frantically trying to figure out what to do next. The hospital staff greeted us, and from that point, everything moved pretty quickly considering all the tests were ordered, medicine distributed, and he was carted off for his CT scan. When the doctors arrived to pull up the scans, I noticed a large black cluster that didn't belong, and my heart sank and fear set in. But I kept a straight face, and you try to listen to the doctor's words. Cavernous malformation, cerebellum, surgery. He's being admitted. What? I couldn't process everything at the time of what was going on. The next day, the anesthesiologist had to pry my child's hands from me as they took him back screaming. And this was surgery. After his surgery, I remember the frustrated tears of him being unable to pick up his Cheerios with his hand and not being able to paint his little wooden snake they brought in for him. But this is also where the Lego Batman movie made its debut in our household and continues to be a regular occurrence for our movie nights. Angioma Alliance was the first place I found information and the first place I found support. And I will forever be grateful for the work that they do and being there. Just being there when we needed them. So thank you.
Wow. The stories you heard represent just a few of our many families, researchers, and doctors. CCM is a solvable problem. We're at a critical moment, and we know exactly what is needed to get to better treatments and the cure. In addition to continuing to grow the patient, research, and medical communities, we will sift through the many treatment candidates that already exist and identify the most promising. We will find good companies and advocate for them to choose CCM as the disease for their drug in development. We might even need to fund the last experiment or the animal model that will help a company feel more comfortable taking us on. We are the only ones who can do this. We have the big picture, the motivation, and the ability. So how will we do it? Well, to start, we've hired an industry relations director, a PhD scientist with a background in moving treatments from academic labs to industry. He's already been talking with our researchers and with companies to form relationships and gather the information that we need to identify the most promising treatment candidates. He's also been identifying the holes, the places where one or more pieces are still needed to fill a gap. Soon, we will have a roadmap, and that will move us forward at breakneck speed. The work is cutting edge and revolutionary, and it is how we will get to a cure. So our goal is to raise an additional $500,000 over 3 years to fund this effort. Today, we celebrate being together, and we also celebrate the opportunity to accelerate the cure for CCM. Even if you've already given this year, we ask that you consider giving again and giving generously for this very special effort. Thank you for your generous support and for your partnership as we accelerate the cure. We are together in an amazing community, motivated and unified, and you have made a difference. If you are at an in-person event, please have fun, celebrate. If you're at home alone or with loved ones, please know that we appreciate you and we hope to see you in person in the next year. Thank you.